we are live and welcome everyone to Crypto Empire. This is where we dominate the crypto market and my name is Connor. Hope you're all holding up and doing all right despite the market turmoil and the diabolical altcoin market we are experiencing at the moment. The thing with crypto is, it really does always test your resolve and your conviction, and we're going through one of those times right now. I have a lot to talk about in this live stream in regards to what's happening in the market, why it's happening, and what I see coming out the other side of this, looking ahead. So anyways, let's get right into this live stream because again, we have a lot to discuss today. Shout out to everyone here watching live from all around the world, guys. Be sure to smash up the like button. If you're not subscribed to Crypto Empire, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And shout out to the live audience. We got Be Cool, we got Crypto Maniac 925. What's going on, Crypto Maniac? You can't wait to hear what I have to say about this drop. Well, stick around because we are about to talk about it in a minute, or in a few seconds, really. Shout out to Trucker Steve. Shout out to Al. We got Chris Dinnick 90. What's going on? And we got Fiat Hater Raphael Fiensta, as well as Big Wave Dave, saying he's hanging in there. He says the bull run's not over. Well, I concur. I'm going to talk about why right now. Shout out to D'Angelo as well, and Dev Satire #1 coming in from Key West, Florida. Hope it's sunny down there. Anyways, looking at the market in general, Bitcoin 97,000, so below 100K. Ethereum 2,800, just below 2,900. And Solana is teetering around the $200 level. It was sub $200. And anyways, the altcoin market is destroyed. Looking at crypto bubbles for the daily candle, we are in a sea of red. Doesn't matter what you're holding, what altcoin you're in, you were affected by this one way or the other. There was really no hiding from this unless you were basically an all-in, say, Bitcoin or even just 100% stables. That was the only way to avoid this catastrophe, fatality. So anyways, what's going on? Well, obviously, President Trump is now in office, and there's a lot of big stuff happening with tariffs. And with Trump implementing tariffs, it's a tax essentially, okay? And yes, it gets passed to the countries like Canada and Mexico. But the thing is with these tariffs is it always trickles down to the end consumer, you and I, okay? So what does that mean? It means that it raises the prices of everything. You hear the jokes that, we're going to have to pay a little bit more for maple syrup from Canada, or we're going to have to pay a little bit more for taco shells or some joke like that, right? From Mexico, some stupid joke. And that may be funny, but the thing is, everything gets passed down to the consumer. The cost of everything goes up with these tariffs, right? Especially needed things such as, fuel, gas, necessities to live. So what does this do? It causes uncertainty in the market. And the markets hate uncertainty, so we get big drops like we're experiencing right now. All right, so the market is basically reacting to the consumers being passed the extra cost from these tariffs. To sum everything up in short, we can go into all these different avenues and things like that, but to just sum everything up in a clear, concise manner, the cost of everything is basically going up with these tariffs. Now, why is Trump doing this? Well, we know that Trump likes to base his performance based off of the financial markets and how the markets do perform. And currently the Federal Reserve, they just paused interest rate cuts. All right, they didn't hike, they didn't cut, they left it as it is. And in order for prices on commodities, crypto, Bitcoin, altcoins, whatever, gold, silver, in order for them to go up, we do need the dollar to go down and we need interest rates to go down to do that. So in my opinion, Trump is basically creating a problem so that he can solve the problem by forcing Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve to essentially cut interest rates and begin quantitative easing. So ultimately, I don't think that the bull run is over. I'm sticking by my stance. Okay, I don't believe we've topped out on Bitcoin or altcoins, especially with Bitcoin dominance hovering at 60%. Okay, this is right now it's made a new high actually today. It's currently at 61.1%. Okay, so we're basically going back up to test the highs, the multi-year highs for Bitcoin dominance up here towards 62%. Altcoins have not seen any light for the most part. Of course, we've seen general kind of niche sectors pump, like Pump Fund meme coins, Solana meme coins. But in general, right, altcoins are not going to see their crazy run until Bitcoin dominance does drop. So anyways, long story short, tariffs pass the cost of everything onto the consumer, raises the cost of everything. That creates uncertainty in the markets. Markets hate uncertainty. Markets sell off. Guess what's going to happen? Oh, we're going to have to solve the problem. How do we solve the problem? Prices are going up, inflation, whatever. Oh, guess what? We have to lower interest rates. We have to start printing money. That is the general plan I'm seeing with Trump here with these tariffs. Short term, it means pain. Okay, and this pain could last for, a few weeks to potentially 1 to 2 more months until that March Fed meeting, you can say. So yeah, it is what it is in the meantime. If you're wondering why the market dropped, that's my take, that's my reasoning. Again, we can go off into all these different avenues, but in general, that is what is going on. Now, if we go take a look at Bitcoin, well, we've lost 100K. We are below Monday's low from last week. Of course, we're going to have a new range form, essentially within the next 24 hours, a new Monday range. But nonetheless, okay, let's go off of the levels we have marked on the chart. Okay, these levels, these are daily and weekly time frame levels. Okay, so we know they are important, and there's a decent chance that they end up resulting in a reversal. All right, we do have a level at 95K. The main one I see, though, is the 2025 yearly open, and that's down here at 93,500. And below that, we have the demand zone or the range lows that we talked about for a long time, that 89K level. I repeated it so many times when Bitcoin was trading in this range for a few months, 89K. Well, it's basically back on the map now. And that could come into play. And likely, if we do see this green demand zone again, that would be the worst of it. Personally, I'm expecting this week to put in a significant low for the market, okay? I said there could be more pain for the next few weeks to the next few months. But the thing is, after these major catastrophic drops happen, the market usually goes into a period of heavy consolidation. All right, so the drop is happening now. So people saying, oh, we should look for shorts and stuff like that. You're late for shorts, okay? More likely than not, a significant low is going to be put in sometime this week. Especially on altcoins. How do I know that? Well, if we look at the others chart, it did actually hit 267 billion. Let's go to the weekly time frame on the others chart. Okay, this is the altcoin market excluding the top 10. So everything in the top 10 market cap is not accounted for. It's at 273 billion. It did hit this key low. At 270 billion, and it actually went just below it at 267. So the possibility now of some kind of double bottom forming, it is there right now. Okay, we do have now 1, 2, and 3 touches on a bottom trend line. You can call this a triple drive. 1, 2, 3. Everyone should be able to see that pretty clearly. Just one more time. 1, 2, 3. You do have the bullish div as well in the weekly time frame at this pretty significant key level for others. So I do expect some kind of low to come in if this thing is going to double bottom and not just puke all the way back down to the summertime low levels of sub 200 billion, which I don't really see happening. Okay, this is a very significant level currently for altcoins at 270 billion on the others chart. And yeah, I mean, look, this is from high to low now. It's a pretty significant drop. We can go measure that. All right, this is a 41% drop over a period of 2 months or 56 days. And we're at a very key level at 270 billion. So again, expecting some kind of significant low to form this week. That doesn't mean the market can consolidate for a period of weeks to months after the low is formed. That's typically what it usually does, right? The market's going these very violent trends to the upside and to the downside in short spurts of time. We're in one of those short spurts of time now, and then it goes into complacency or consolidation for a bit before the next trend will form. And being that I don't believe we're topped out here, I do believe after this significant drop we're having, we're going to go into consolidation, and then we're going to pump out of that consolidation. So anyways, long story short, it's not all over, okay? It's always darkest before dawn, and it's currently very dark. It's very dark out there. Everyone's patience, everyone's conviction, everyone's resolve is getting tested. Many people round tripped many bags. Many people are now in losses on many bags. And that is a common story with, I mean, over 95% of people invested in the crypto market. So definitely, I mean, nobody is, you can say, alone right now, even though everyone really here is in it for themselves. I understand that. But if it does make you feel any better, most people, I'd say 95% plus of people, are heavily affected by this. I mean, how could you not be if you were holding any altcoins? So anyways, we are looking for this level to continue to act as support at 270 billion on the other chart. Okay, if we lose it, we could come down as low as 240, 250 billion. Right, I will be looking at these levels. These levels here, where these previous wicks have gone down into and where these have wicked into. Okay, this is a pretty important support resistance flip over here, 250 to 240 billion. I would be looking to buy altcoins if you do have any spare powder when others is down here, okay? I don't see this going and making new lows or anything like that. I'm expecting a pretty significant low to be put in this week on altcoins in general. Fred Smith says it's topped. Again, I do disagree with you. Bull run is over. Fred, we're going to have to go ahead and put you in timeout, man. We heard you the first time. You're cool to say whatever you like, but if you're going to repeat yourself within like 1 minute and say the same thing, we will have to use our moderation abilities and put your ass in timeout. Let's see. D'Angelo, he says the crash out that's been happening has been hilarious to see. It just goes to show how little people believe in what they hold. Be greedy when others are fearful, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that's a great quote from the best investor of all time, Warren Buffett, to be greedy when others are fearful. And if you were ever looking for a time where there is fear, where people don't know what the heck is going to happen next, it is now. All right, here looking at Ethereum. Well, this weekly close is not looking great, obviously, with Ethereum coming down and putting in a low at 2750 actually. 2750 on the nose. And this just happened this hour, okay, within the past few minutes or so. So for ETH, well, if 2800 doesn't hold, we likely are coming back down to these 2500 levels. But again, looking at that others chart right now, being that this is all happening on a Sunday, right? These weekend sell-offs, they're literally designed to make you sell and panic and basically shake you out, right? I never recommend to sell on weekends. That's always acting out of emotion, in my opinion. But anyways, pretty significant capitulation we've just seen actually within the past hour on coins like ETH with this big flush, and you're already seeing a bit of a long wick form. So if Ethereum can actually hold this summertime range high, this is a very important level for ETH, sitting at around 27 to 2800. If it can hold this, that would be great. But if not, I would look for 26 to 2500, which would be reminiscent of this previous 3-month or so range from August to November. And we can expect those prices if the current level does not hold. But personally, I do think that actually most of the dirty work has been done and most of the blood has been shed. And again, I would be looking for opportunity, and I would be looking for a significant low to be put in, especially on altcoins this week. It's the opposite of probably what everyone thinks right now. Everyone is thinking it's completely cooked and the market is done. But yeah, I do think ultimately in like 6 months, everything will happen to what we believe, and we will get the Bitcoin dominance drop, and we will get the altcoin season. And at that point in time, they're going to say that we got lucky and things like that. But, in crypto, you really do need to have conviction and resolve to be able to withstand these drops. This is one of the more brutal sell-offs we've seen over the past few years. There's no doubt about that. And this cycle in general has been, different for the most part for altcoins compared to all previous cycles. But ultimately, I do think it does end in the typical Bitcoin dominance drop. So anyone who thinks it's over, you're completely fine to think that. And, feel free to short now or whatever. If you've been short, that's great. But just know that I don't think it's topped. And brace the pain now to get rewarded later is what I would say in general. We got a super chat from Cryptomaniac925. He says, I waited all day to hear your thoughts about the market. Time to load up with all these cheap prices. Love your content. Joining Mastermind soon. I love to hear Cryptomaniac. Love the optimism. And yeah, awesome. We'll see you inside when you decide to pull the trigger. Thank you for the super chat, sir. And Vincent says, well, at least Treble is kind of steady. Dropped way before the dip. Connor, any idea when that's going to be traded on DEXs? So yeah, Treble is holding up relatively well. Current price is 85 cents. Let's refresh the page and see if that is still accurate. Yeah, 85 cents right now. So this launched at 12 cents. The public sale that was shared in advance, anyone could have invested into that. You would have gotten the token price at 10 cents, so it's still up 8.5x. And if you invested in the private sale, like myself and Mastermind members did, well, you got it at 5 cents, so you're still up 17x actually, which is, quite nice. It's nice to win in this environment. And yeah, Treble is holding up really well. And I think Treble is going to have a pretty good run. It's retraced the entire parabolic move that it saw last week after the launch. A lot of people were speculating on it. It ran really hard, and now it's retracing steadily at that. We do know that, buyers want to step in down here around 60 to 70 cents, given this previous wick into this previous range, again, right at around 70 cents. So we know there's demand there. But yeah, in general, I remain bullish on Treble Swap. And I mean, this is a win no matter how you look at it, right? From launch to now, it is still up massive multiples. So anyways, the second part of the question, when's it going to be listed on DEXs? Well, it's listed on its own DEX soon. And also, Uniswap just introduced V4 finally. Okay, so Treble was actually the official first V4 DEX to go live. Quite bullish stuff, if you ask me. And now that Uniswap has implemented version 4, tools like DEX Screener and DEX Tools are all going to track V4 exchanges like Treble on Base. So you're going to see it implemented everywhere soon, my man. You'll be able to see it everywhere. And when the team decides to put a pool on Uniswap, you'll be able to buy it on Uniswap. That's not hard to do. And with V4 launching, they can easily do that. Fiat Hater will go over your question. He says, let's be proactive. Best buys to scoop right now. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's see. So alts can drop 30% more, says Sky. If this key level is lost, which I'm personally kind of biased to the sense that, there's a good chance of this level actually holding up at 270 billion for others. But yeah, if we are going to see another drop, it would be, in my opinion, 12%, not 30% on others. White Gloss says that this is most likely a shakeout. It is a shakeout. I mean, it's not most likely. I don't like to speak in absolutes, but in this case, I will speak in absolutes. We go higher this year. All right, in 6 months, they'll call us lucky, and this is a shakeout. So yeah, I don't like to talk in absolutes, but I will now. Yeah, this is a shakeout, 100%. Red Big Town. He says, people thinking we have no alt season based on their feelings. So many bullish indicators right now. Sentiment is one thing alone, right? The sentiment in general, leads me to believe that, that's one of the most bullish indicators. Just seeing the devastation, the vibe across the board. That's one major indicator to say that we haven't topped. Anyways, Boyd R with a $5 super chat. He says, Monday trading starts 6 p.m. today. Dump incoming. Yeah, so CME opens up. Futures will open up at 6 p.m. in 4 minutes, essentially. So, if we do dump with the stock market open tomorrow morning as well, I would be looking for a significant low to be put in this week. So cool. Dump it lower. At this point, what does it really matter, right? I mean, everything is just devastated across the board. A little bit lower is perfectly fine. And then, again, probably get a period of consolidation. And then we start going up. Let's see. Johnny Bullrun, he says, we just want our bags to pump. Yes, this fear and FUD could be a great time to buy, but question is, when do you step back in? When do you step back in? Well, if you sold everything to buy back lower, I mean, that's kind of an ambiguous question, right? We need kind of more information. But I don't do the game where like I try to sell and then buy back lower and things like that for like my core holdings. I don't play that game personally. That's not how I do it. If you like to go that route, be my guest, but eventually it will backfire in your face and you'll be forced to essentially capitulate and buy higher. But yeah, when do you step back in? The question, I would say this week. Maybe not right now if you don't have cash to buy right now. If you do have stables, I would be looking to deploy either now or sometime this week. More likely than not, again, we're going to see a significant low form, in my opinion. Vincent says, by the way, we should insist more on keeping money on the side just in case of a situation like now. Bought more, but I'm dry until next pay if I still have a job. Well, I hope you keep your job, Vincent. And yeah, it's always a good idea to keep money on the side. I have a bag of stables, and I haven't deployed it yet. However, I am keeping my finger on the trigger, on the blicky, ready to shoot. DJ says the best day ever for the S&P 500 came a couple days after the worst day in 1987. All right, we got people asking about Toshi on base. So my personal thesis here is that Ethereum is going to make a new all-time high this run. All right. Now, Toshi just had the Coinbase listing. That pumped it. Okay, I made it pretty clear that I would not be a buyer on the parabolic rise, and this is why. Now, thoughts on Toshi now? Well, it looks like it's going to come and complete its Burj Khalifa after this run, and that would put it back down to around 180 to 100 and what is it, 180 to 130 million market cap in this demand zone that formed on the run up for Toshi. Now, ultimately, I think there's a chance it actually has another run later on, right? This was a very hyper niche pump with the Coinbase listing, and it was a very good sign for base coins in general. So, like I've been saying for Toshi, you need to let it cool off because no coin can essentially sustain parabolic rallies like this. So let it cool off, let it come down, and let it find a base and consolidate. And then at that point, if you want to buy Toshi, I would do it then. But for now, this is a bit of a different situation because it just went parabolic. Let it continue to cool off for now. But yeah, in general, when Ethereum does make the all-time high, new all-time high, I should say, right? And you see it trading between 6K to 8K, you're going to see Ethereum memes do really well, and you'll see the entire base ecosystem explode at that point. So the base thesis really hasn't fully played out at this time, but it will. Okay, again, I don't like speaking in absolutes, but I'm pretty convinced we will see a new all-time high for Ethereum, and that's going to bode really, really well for base coins like Toshi and like some of the others that I like too. KeyCat coming into some really interesting prices. This is definitely a coin I would consider buying. Keyboard Cat on base. Anyways, so yes, we spoke about the tariffs and the implication that it's having. The market is basically reacting to that, being that the market hates uncertainty, and now all the costs are being basically passed down to the consumer. So basically, this is where everyone is at the moment. So I was like pretty rich for a few days there. This is how everyone is feeling. I wouldn't get too attached to that portfolio all-time high you had at the beginning of December or at New Year's. I think there's a good chance you will get that money back and you will be able to make new portfolio all-time highs. But for the time being, you just have to make peace with what is and understand that you have to keep your vision focused on the future and not get too caught up in the current moment of just complete fear, anxiety, and panic. All right. But yeah, this is most people at the current moment in time. And yeah, here's some interesting stuff. So this was from a few days ago. So Mike, Logan Paul's crony. So 30 minutes before the coin Jelly Jelly launched, let's actually check on that coin. How's that one doing today? Okay, so it looks like it has not actually fully completed the Burj Khalifa, but pretty much. But anyways, this was the flavor of the month last week, but you know, things do change relatively quickly. But anyways, this dude set up a phantom wallet 30 minutes before Jelly Jelly. So at this point in time, if you don't realize that you know, these guys are plants, and the whole crypto VC narrative, like, oh, we hate crypto VCs. You guys have to understand that, you know, the VCs are here on Twitter. They see everything. They understand everything. So they're going to go about things in different ways. So what are they going to do? They're going to plant things. They're going to plant people. They're going to plant their assets. And like, if you guys can't see as clear as day that these guys are their assets, well, now you know. Now you know, okay? So don't believe everything you see. And there's definitely opportunity to make money with these pump fund shitters, but it's definitely a losing game, and you're playing against the house at all moments in time in these. But yeah, all the whole entire pump fund and all the Solana meme coins, I was bearish on them, but I was bullish on my coins, and that was a mistake I made, okay? Like I said, yeah, FWOG is cooked. It's cooked. But I remained bullish, say, on the coins I was bullish on, while the entire market got wiped out, okay? So certainly that was something I could have done better. I have no problem admitting that. But at the same time, it is good to see a purging of these coins, and it's good to see them essentially trend towards zero, because these things are just absolute hot piles of flaming garbage. And whether it's FWOG, Jelly, Goat, remember Goatius Maximus? Remember this guy over here on the right saying it was the best thing ever? Everything. Doesn't matter what you're holding. Complete round trip across the board. You know, even the coins that you can say that I liked. The famous Popcat. Complete round trip. Devastation. Like, this is just an absolute fatality. From 2.2 billion down to 224 million. Is this 99% or what? What is this? It's only 92%. So yeah, we have a complete reset of the entire board here. A complete reset of the entire board. So let's talk about what we want to look for now in terms of opportunity. Well, I've made it pretty clear this live stream, as well as, you know, in general, Ethereum is going to make a new all-time high. And it's probably going to happen in 2025. So what coins are going to benefit the most from Ethereum going to all-time highs? Of course, the fundamental ones you can say, like Lido, which is like the whole entire kind of staking infrastructure of Ethereum. Right? I can see this going to new highs. Right? I can see this having a bull market run when Ethereum makes a new high and heading towards around $7.50 to $10. But I think if you're after like the really big gains, like say the 10, 20, 30x plus gains, Ethereum meme coins are going to give that to you. All right. Coins like, for example, Bobo, right? A 20x would be 600 million, definitely attainable. I think some of Murad's coins will do really well. For example, coins like Apu, right? We've talked a lot about Apu on the channel, as well as other Murad coins, SPX. But I mean, if you look at this chart, it's back down to its lows from September before it went on a crazy run to 500 million market cap. And I expect the next run to be, you know, towards $1 billion market cap. So Ethereum memes in general, definitely I would be looking there, and I would be looking to buy coins because they more likely than not are going to give you 10x plus gains this year. You might have to wait a little bit, But when the market does eventually turn around, you will be able to profit from them, and they will trade multiples higher. So if you can exit at the right time, they're a good place. And then aside from ETH memes, that's just 2 of them. I actually have a video coming out. It should be out today, depending on if it gets edited in time. But anyways, I do have a video coming out specifically on this topic soon. It's already recorded, and it should be out today again. So be on the lookout for that. But the other sector where I would place heavy bets currently is AI. And not your bullshit AI agents. All right. I think we will see a return to normalcy and a return to utility AI coins. There's a fire sale. There's an absolute fire sale happening, okay? With Tau at 347, with Render at 459. I think if you don't want to go too off the rails and venture too far into the altcoin market, you can just stick with these main 2 coins, Tau and Render. All right? If you're looking to buy AI coins, yes, maybe some other smaller market cap coins are going to give more X's. But if you're looking for a relatively conservative bet, Tau and Renders are they're a given. They are they're basically stealing it at this price, okay? Could it go lower? Of course, I'm sure it could go lower. But in the future, ultimately, they will trade multiples higher, okay? So yeah, AI, definitely where I would be looking to pull the trigger and deploy if that was my plan currently. These are the main 2, okay? There's a lot of smaller AI coins. Obviously, there's coins like Cubic. Here's Cubic at 288 million. I think Cubic will have a great run. Griffin down here at 14 cents, absolutely smoked, like most Solana coins at the moment. Ultimately, I'm still bullish on Griffin. I mean, it's getting destroyed right now. The winter mute market maker pattern is playing out to an effect. But if the second half of the winter mute market maker pattern is going to play out, it's essentially going to have a parabolic run after this. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, ultimately, I am still bullish on that. There's coins like OXO, which I do still hold. TARS AI sticks out. AGI still up here, 391. I mean, 10 cents. In general, AI is where I would focus heavily on. Okay, we are going to actually have an AI run similar to 2024, and it won't be specific to AI agents like we had in the second half of 2024. Okay, it's going to be more like before that NVIDIA conference in March, where just every AI coin pumped. I think we're going to see something similar to that play out again. So yeah, I would focus heavily on AI. I wouldn't really touch virtuals at the moment. I wouldn't touch the virtuals agents. Those are meme coins through and through. So just a general take on things right there. Let's see. Tommy O'Connor says, will people buy already? Surely we should wait to see the fallout of stocks tomorrow. If stocks dump, then we are likely to expect another crypto double dump. So that's a theory that does have some validity to it, right? There have been times where, for the most part, yes, crypto is correlated to the stock market. And when the stock market performs badly, crypto performs badly at a direct correlation. Okay, we have seen at times, at very brief times, it is a bit of an anomaly when stocks go down and crypto doesn't go down. But usually if stocks go down, crypto does go down with it. Now, being that crypto was sold off so hard this weekend, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, brutal sell-offs. It leads me to believe the majority of the damage has been done. So again, I would have my finger on the trigger, and I would be looking for a significant low to form this week. Others at a very important level right now, 270. If you want to wait for stocks to open, that's fine, but I still think there's going to be opportunity. Whether you wait for now, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, I think this week in general, we're going to look back in 6 months and be like, damn, I should have bought more that week when everything was fucked. Same thing as August 5th. You guys remember August 5th? Remember that brutal day we had in August? Here it is. It was absolute panic. Well, that was the bottom. Probably a similar thing we are experiencing right now, given that the cycle isn't over, of course. If we're in a bear market, all this shit's going to zero, but I don't think that's the case. Josh Coleman, he says, what's your opinion on HBAR? Thanks, man. So as an ISO 2022 coin, things like that, it does have some bullish prospects for it. Opinion on HBAR. Well, it's coming down to its very important support level at 23 cents now, okay? So it's quite interesting. Opinion on HBAR. Range low, definitely a level. And below that, the daily 200 EMA, which does have direct confluence with these levels. So if HBAR is going to lose its range low, I would look for it to tap the daily 200 EMA, maybe come below it around 18 to 15 cents. And that would probably be the bottom if it cannot hold 23 cents, its current support that it's on right now. But yeah, this coin's holding up better than most. It still is down around 50% from 40 cents to 23 now. So, that's still a 50% drop or so. But yeah, it's coming into some really important levels, okay? It's a range low. Below that, you got your daily 200 EMA. These are buy opportunities. These are buy levels. So Fiendsta says, thoughts on FXS Frax. So another one of those liquid staking derivative LSD coins, Frax. FSX, not FRX, sorry. Or is it? Sorry, let's see. Here we go. I'm not sure why that didn't pop up the first time. Frax. So I just mentioned Lido. All right, Frax, same category as Lido. So when Ethereum goes and does well and it runs to a new all-time high, you're going to see all the LSD, liquid staking derivative Ethereum coins also have a bit of a pump. Lido, Frax, those are two at the top of the category. So that's my take on FXS. And yeah, it probably will pump hard again when Ethereum begins to go on its run. And it's coming close to its all-time low prices. All right, all-time low is $1.50. This thing's at $2. Now, I think Lido DAO is the safer bet between the two. It's going to be more reflexive to the market. Frax is going to be more volatile, probably to the upside and to the downside. But, this chart looks very different from LDO. Like a very different chart. So, in general, I would say Lido is your safer bet, but FXS, same exact category as Lido. Very similar project, so yeah, when Ethereum does well, you'll probably see that have a run. Gion's Escape says that he's buying right now. Good to hear that. Stefano, he says, problem of this bull market is not Bitcoin, but alts. I'm in crypto since 2016, and that is the hardest cycle ever. I think you mean this is the hardest cycle ever. Yeah, I agree. I'm actually out from alts now, holding just Bitcoin at the moment. Interesting there, Stefano. So holding all Bitcoin right now. It's definitely going to keep you safer during these volatile drops. Now the issue is, it's not really an issue, just say opportunity cost, is that Bitcoin dominance is at 61%. So short term, good move to protect yourself. But there's very minimal gains left on the table, in my opinion, for Bitcoin compared to altcoins at this moment in time. So I think the opportunity cost of only being in Bitcoin isn't worth it for me personally, given of what I think is what I believe to happen for alts in general. Okay, because Bitcoin dominance is going to come down here again to 48%, potentially lower. You guys also have to understand that the market cap of Bitcoin is so significantly higher than previous cycles, currently at $2 trillion, where you don't need to see Bitcoin dominance drop in terms of, percentages like it did from last cycle, right? You don't need to see another 45% drop to get an equal amount of capital flow into alts, because Bitcoin dominant, or not Bitcoin dominance, but the Bitcoin market cap is significantly larger. All right. Yes, there's a lot of institutional money that now holds Bitcoin that doesn't plan on selling it into altcoins, but you still will see a rotation. Okay. And when that rotation happens, again, you don't need to see an equal percentage drop in Bitcoin dominance to get an equal amount of capital to trickle into altcoins, because the market cap is so much larger. So anyways, this is a game of opportunity cost, and in my opinion, Bitcoin will actually underperform altcoins going forward from this point in this cycle. Bitcoin dominance is definitely close to topped out. Maybe it wants to push to 63% here. So be it. It will roll over. It will come back down sub 50% again. And at that moment in time, they will call us lucky. But until then, deal with the pain. There's really nothing else to do. Prepare for that to happen and reap the rewards. And you must sell at the right time. Otherwise, you're going to really round trip the entire cycle. But currently, the cycle's not over. Okay, so if you've round tripped all of it so far, you actually have another at bat, another chance to get it right this year. Shout out to Grotto Easy. What's up, Grotto? How are you doing? Bit Nerd, how do you feel about Optimism OP? It's definitely not my favorite altcoin by any means. But I think it's a beta to Ethereum. So it's currently dropping more than Ethereum's dropping. And it will go up more than Ethereum. Same thing as ARB. Right? I'm not necessarily, say, bullish on these chains long term. ARB down here again at 50 cents. It's all-time low prices essentially. So OP and ARB, same exact category. Ethereum layer 2s, kind of like the original first two that launched in 2022 in the bear market, or 2023, whatever. But yeah, ARB, OP, I have the same opinion on both of them. I think that they will give you a few multiples when Ethereum goes on its run, right? Because we're looking for ETH to go to 6 to 8K, which is a 100% move. So you'll probably get more multiples on coins like OP and ARB. It would be temporary. It would be an altcoin rally. And ultimately, I'm not necessarily bullish on ARB or OP long term. But I would treat them as a trade, okay? I would treat both of all ETH layer 2s as simply a trade. So yeah, when Ethereum goes on its period of outperformance, you'll see coins like OP, ARB, Blast, ZK Sync, all that same basket of Ethereum layer 2s. They'll do well at that time. And then afterwards, they'll crash and burn. People asking if futures have opened. Look, what's my take? And take hasn't changed. I mean, it's a Sunday night. The price action really won't start until tomorrow 9:30 a.m. when the U.S. stock market opens. Anyways, it looks like I missed some super chats. My bad, Pedro. We'll get to that right now, as well as Zapster. We'll get to these super chats. Anyway, Zapster says, thoughts on the base ecosystem, Toshi and Alien Base. So yeah, I've went over the base ecosystem today. I'm bullish on base. I think base is going to do very well when Ethereum does well. We talked about Toshi as well. Somebody asked me about that. Anyways, right, Toshi had a very specific pump due to the Coinbase listing. It is now completing the second half of the Burj Khalifa pattern, and I would let this come down to 200 million market cap and below at this point in time. Now, ALB Alien Base, last live stream I did was only a few days ago, and somebody asked me about this also in a super chat, and my opinion is that it peaked. Okay, this has been around for a while. It's been around from August 2023, and it's gone around 200x from low to high, 200, almost 300x actually. So when a new coin, especially that has a lot of emissions, goes 300x, it's very hard to go on and make a new all-time high. And especially coupled with the fact that a lot of people were buying, say, at 60 million, 70 million, 80 million market cap. They're just looking to basically, if they're holding at this point, they're looking to get out, break even. So Alien Base, good product, good DEX, it works. But that, like the token already did a 300x run in 2024. So if you're looking for, I'm not sure what you're looking for, right? Like I would look for something that's better, that's newer, that hasn't gone 300x. And I know one off the top of my head, but I think Alien Base is topped out. Can it run to a new all-time high from here? It could, but I don't see that happening. There's a lot of competition now, right? Alien Base launched at a time where there was very little DEX competition on Base, and it went 300x as a result. Sometimes you shouldn't try and wring that extra last bit out of the towel, in my opinion, okay? Like, had a stellar run. I just don't see it making another new all-time high. Anyway, Zapster, thank you for the super chat. And now Pedro. My man Pedro says, thoughts on Bonk as well as Pepe. So Bonk and Pepe are the more established meme coins. They're listed everywhere, Robinhood, Coinbase, all the above, right? So at this point in time, like these are very established meme coins. Let's go take a look at Pepe here. So a very significant move. And price has essentially, if we can get our fib right, there we go. So price has now fully retraced to the 88.6% Fibonacci retracement here on Pepe, and it's completely round-tripped the gains from the election rally. Okay, this rally started on November 5th, the day after the election day when Trump won. Gave a very solid move, and now it's round-tripped that entire thing. So Pepe is an Ethereum meme coin. Again, I spoke about these Ethereum memes. Pepe is kind of the more, you can say, risk-averse version of, say, Apu or Bobo and stuff like that. They're very related, right? Apu, Bobo, Pepe, they're all from the same family of characters and things like that. 4chan memes, original ones. So yeah, same thesis as the other coins on ETH, the other meme coins. When Ethereum puts in a new all-time high, you're going to see these rally, okay? You're going to see these trade multiples higher. And they will call you lucky down the line, whether it takes 6 months, 12 months, whatever. These will eventually trade multiples higher, in my opinion, as more of the OG Ethereum meme coins. Okay, so Pepe at these levels, definitely considerable buy prices, and it would be even more considerable if it wants to touch the top of the green zone, which isn't too much lower. It's only another 15% lower. Okay, so this is one of those cases. Do you want to wait for another 15%, or do you want to start kind of DCAing now? I think these prices are levels to begin. If you're bullish on Pepe and you want to make it one of your kind of core holdings, because you could get away with that, right? If you were going to put in $1,000, I would say go into something else. But if you want to significantly size up into something like Pepe, I don't think it would be the worst pick in the world. And these would be prices I would look to start dollar cost averaging into it. And then same goes with Bonk. Bonk is basically the dog coin on Solana that has the most prospects for a Dogecoin type of run. Now, Bonk, just like Pepe, has come. It's actually performing worse slightly, and it's coming all the way back down to the election day lows. This is in that little pocket of price action from November 4th, November 3rd, November 5th. And if we look on the weekly time frame, it's coming into essentially its bottom support. It's coming into its bottom. So both of these, right, it can drop another, say, 12% to its kind of absolute bottom support levels. That's really not too far off of the current price. Okay, so like people saying, oh, it's over, it's done. Like, what are you expecting? Are you expecting this thing to go straight down to zero? Like, there's a pretty good chance that this support level ends up holding and you see a significant bounce and a significant low put in sometime soon around here. So both Bonk and Pepe, they are at huge retracements. More likely than not oversold. Not quite on the weekly. On the daily, they're oversold. Okay, so that's one indicator, right? That's a very strong indicator, actually. And they're at like critical bottom support levels from November. So yeah, if I wanted to deploy into these, I would start doing it now. And if it drops a bit lower, continue to DCA into whatever you like, whatever coins you're bullish on for this year. If you don't think the cycle is over, you should be looking at the chart and you should be planning out what you want to do. Like right now in the midst of all the fear and all the hysteria. But yeah, Bonk and Pepe are in opportunity zones. Jose with a 5. I'm not sure what currency that is. But anyways, thank you for the super chat. He's asking about Cookie DAO. So Cookie is one of those AI agent data coins where it gave data on AI agents. And we will look at the full chart here on the Binance Smart Chain. And it doesn't matter what AI agent you were in, none of them were safe. Cookie, AI XBT, Virtual, Griffin, Arc, Pippin, AI 16Z, no one's safe, okay? So here's another Burj Khalifa. It's fully retraced. It's back to the origin of its pump. Now, we'll see. Not sure how much selling this could take, but I do see one drive. This would be the second. Maybe it wants to bounce and put in a third low, right? Prices love to do that. The triple drive, 1, 2, 3, bullish div, and then like to form a bottom and at least bounce from those prices. So yeah, Cookie, not one I'm interested in buying myself, but interesting price here in this. It's fully retraced its parabolic move. Okay, this was a period of vertical accumulation, and then it sent out of it. It's now back into that previous vertical accumulation period for Cookie. Now, a 50% move would be the bottom of this current orange zone, right? That would be 35 million market cap. You could potentially see another 50% on something like this. And it would still be in this kind of general price action area. Ultimately, I would be looking around 50 million. Yeah, right around that 50 mil market cap level. I wouldn't be surprised, though, to see again that triple drive lower. Doesn't have to come all the way to 35 mil, but maybe in the 40s. But I would look for something like that to play out. Probably needs to consolidate, but ultimately extremely oversold is Burj Khalifa. Not something I'm interested in, but also as well, right? If you look at the listing price from 7 months ago, it's essentially right there, right at that 50 mil level. So yeah, I would be looking around 50 mil for Cookie to put in a significant low. And Sui. Well, Sui's broken trend, broken parabola, and it's coming down to the daily 200 EMA. Well, if these levels can't hold for Sui, ultimately this thing looks like it's on a straight stop down to $2 because, there are these wicks to act as support, but, ultimately there's no kind of strong levels I'm seeing besides down here at around $2 on Sui. But again, you can get greedy on both sides, right? You can get greedy on not selling, or you can get greedy on waiting too long to say buy, and then you never get those low prices, right? Like This is somewhat greedy to say, oh, I'm going to wait another 30% for $2 on something like Sui. You know, given that it's already down, say, 43%. So it's actually held up a lot better. And the majority of altcoins have gone down 70 to like 90% in the past, few days, few weeks. So it wouldn't be that far-fetched of a reality to see Sui down here around $2 again. Your daily 200 EMA is right here at $2.99 at $3. So, and that coincides with the levels I spoke about here, right? All these, wicks down. There's demand down here at $3. We'll see if it's strong enough. If not, well, straight stop down here to around $2.25 to $2. So on the 1 hour here on Crypto Bubbles, we still have a sea of red. We got Hyperliquid, Ondo, as well as Flare, the only green bubbles we see. How is Hyperliquid? How is Hype holding up? So not too bad on Hype. Definitely a lot better than many other coins out there. I mean, this thing is down, 20%? When most alts are down 80%? From high to low, this was only a 27.6% drop on Hype. Be interesting. Right, well, it would be interesting. Something like this, right? The low is at $18. It's only down 27%. I think it wants to take the liquidity down here. Okay, so previous week lows 19.30, and then the lows at 18. Potentially, you see these prices, you see it sweep all of them, and then you see a deviation back into this range on Hyperliquid. But this is holding up a lot better than many other altcoins at the moment. Akuma. All right, that's super annoying. I agree with Ghost. Ghost says, stop spamming the same questions over and over again, guys. He's making his way through the comments and we'll get to yours. You are correct, Ghost. Definitely stop spamming the same things. All right, CME chart, 12-hour, big gap. All right, so on Friday, market closed at 102K, and 35 minutes ago, market opened at 98,430. All right, so this has resulted in a gap to the upside. Now to the downside, we have the yearly open at 95, which is interesting. Okay, different yearly open than your traditional Bitcoin chart, but this 95K level is a level that, I have marked on my other charts, and that's the yearly open on the futures Bitcoin CME chart. And your daily 200 is getting into this gap. Okay, so the only gap here to the downside is actually at 80K. I don't really see that happening. And now we have a gap to the upside, and gaps do get filled. So more likely than not, we see this get filled at some point in time. Sometimes these things can linger for a while, but ultimately they do eventually, they always do get filled. Gaps get filled. So yeah, a bit of a significant gap created this weekend here on the CME chart, and that means we can essentially expect some kind of bounce and price to trade back and back test 100K resistance now, right? Support has flipped into resistance, and we can expect that with this gap. Let's see, Tim Stark, he says that World Liberty Financial, their holdings down $40 million. There's no way this is the end of the bull run. Good point. Okay, I actually have that link open already, the World Liberty Financial wallet on Arkham Intelligence. And they are currently holding $377.5 million worth of crypto, and they have 186 mil in ETH. This was, over 200 million. They're down, $15 million alone on Ethereum in the past few days. But in the past few weeks, they bought all of this ETH. Okay, they bought $200 million worth of Ethereum. Now, this is Trump's project. There's obviously people that do it for him. Okay, there's guys that run this for him. And this is not like a short-term play, in my opinion. This is a long-term thing. Trump does not need to trade the crypto market. And this tells us something. This tells us, okay, they bought $200 million worth of Ethereum. There's probably something going on there. They probably have some kind of plan in mind for Ethereum. So there's a reason they're loading up heavily on it, which further adds to my thesis that we haven't topped out. So something to note as well, just one little additional piece of information to consider. Why did Trump's company, his proxy, World Liberty Financial, buy so much ETH in the past few weeks? Maybe, just maybe, they got something planned for Ethereum. Just maybe, though. We'll see. Time will tell. Definitely something to consider, though. We just got a super chat from Kelvin Urena. He says, freaking out. Thanks to Connor and Crypto Empire I'm holding. You are the GOAT. Kelvin, great to hear that. Thank you for the super chat. And now, look, everyone's situation is going to be different. However, I firmly do believe that we will see some kind of significant low put in sometime soon. And the result of selling now would very likely be selling at or near the bottom. So at this point, the move is not to okay, if you want to sell, you should have done it not today. Okay, you should have done it last week, 2 weeks ago. Now is not the time. Okay, like everything is already floored out. So yeah, either you hold or you buy more. But in my opinion, the option to sell it's not an option in my mind, because sure, I could walk away. I'm still up overall. I could still walk away and say, yeah, it was all right. But I think there's some juice. Remember, like I said, that analogy of trying to squeeze out juice from the towel? I do believe in general, there is more juice to squeeze out from this market. So good on you, Kelvin, for showing some resolve and having conviction. And I think that will ultimately be the right decision. So thank you for the super chat as well. All right, Crypto Maniac, your wish has been fulfilled. Have at it, but don't abuse your power. Shout out to All Day Dre. What's going on, Dre? Cricket Critics says 6 months from now, you'll be happy that you didn't sell, and they will call you lucky. They will call you lucky. Have they launched or have they announced the launch date for Dynamic Tau? February 10th is the proposed date. So yeah, be looking out for February 10th, around 1 week from now, or 8 days. So Griffin, again, in terms of all the AI agent coins, no one's safe. All right, so Griffin now coming into 100 and this wick from 131 million market cap. Below that, you do have a demand zone at 95 mil. All right, similar situation to what we just looked at in Cookie. Right, very significant sell-off. Everything's been given back very quickly, and yeah, this is definitely an important low at 131 million, or it's going right to 100 in this demand zone. 95 mil. Arturo, is the bull run canceled? I'd say it's more postponed. More postponed than canceled. Definitely a lot of interesting emotions we have here. Anyways, people asking about Filecoin. Be Cool says, have you ever done TA on Filecoin? I've been watching and waiting. Respect your take on possible returns. So Filecoin, wow, look at this devastation on the daily time frame for Filecoin. This is a fatality. But it's actually pretty similar to many other charts. The wild thing. Again, it doesn't matter. Like nothing is safe. So the TA on Filecoin is, it has been range bound now for essentially 2 years, 2.5 years. And it's now basically at the bottom. It's in bear market prices. So the emissions on Filecoin do turn me off from it. Now, in terms of, like, it does give you solid multiples when it bounces. For example, it went from $3 up here to around $11 in 2024. At the end of this year, it went from $3 again to, around $8. So still over a 100% move. And you see the lower highs. It looks really weak. And this is not an altcoin I would buy straight up. Be Cool. It's just not an altcoin I would buy. Right, the whole data storage, it is needed, but again, the emissions for Filecoin, and in general, this price action, okay, like as a higher market cap coin, it's just it doesn't look great by any means. But if you want to buy like bear market prices, it's at the same price it was in 2020 before it ran from $3 to 200. And in 2022, 2023, from $3 to $11. So I think there's better options out there in the altcoin market, but I mean, for sure, you're in discount land, right? Things are on sale there. Things are definitely on sale there. All right, and even XRP breaking structure, nothing safe. And yearly open is down here at $2. Again, that is being somewhat greedy. And you do have some pretty important levels around 230 to 242, which it just hit here. And then ACH, we just made that video on ACH. And it is now starting to come down, and it's now in this level that I spoke on, right? This order block. We can even go to the 12 hours. The same on the 12 hour as well as the daily. So if ACH is going to continue to run, well, we can expect this order block to actually hold up and put in a bid. So keep your eyes on that. Emma says, please tell us if it's a good idea to add margin in losing trades. No, that's not a good idea, okay? A general rule when it comes to trading is to cut your losers, okay? You shouldn't add margin to the losers. Sometimes you got to take the loss and you got to move on. I don't think it's a good idea to add margin to losing trades. You should have not put yourself in the position to get liquidated in the first place. Okay, so definitely, you need to start journaling the trades. Okay, there's a reason you're now in the situation where you're about to get liquidated and you're thinking about adding margin. How do you prevent this in the future? Well, you don't let this. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Most people just do the same thing and expect the same result. How do you combat this? How do you do it differently? You journal, you reflect, you understand, the emotional reasons that you got yourself in this position, and you make sure it doesn't happen again. Okay. So yeah, I don't recommend to add margin to a losing trade. That does not sound like a good idea at all. Fiat Hater says the trade tariffs will send Bitcoin violently higher long term due to a weakening of the US dollar and global currency markets and lower yields on US government securities. A great year ahead, kids. Right on point with my thinking as well, Fiat Hater. Quite similar. You did word it a bit differently to how I talked about the tariffs at the beginning of this live stream. But yes, in general, short term, Trump even says pain in the short term. But mid to long term is very bullish, okay? If we look at the Dixie today, not that one, this one. The Dixie's pumping. Why is the Dixie pumping? Well, it's because things like the Canadian dollar are going to the floor, okay? So the dollar's strong. Short term, these tariffs are going to make the dollar strong. We're going to see the dollar rally. But guess what's going to happen? Again, all of the costs are passed down to who? The end consumer. They take on it's always passed down to the consumer. So, with that, cost of living goes up. Cost of heating, oil, everything will go up. Gasoline. That causes fear. Higher prices, higher cost of living. How do you combat that? You lower interest rates and you start printing money. What happens when you start printing money? The dollar gets weak. What happens when the dollar gets weak? Well, look at what happened in 2021. And 2020, more so. Okay, with the vid, they printed a shitload of money. The dollar got super weak and we had a crazy bull run. It's setting up the same. Same thing is setting up. All right, so ETH getting some wicks down. Again, others is at you're already seeing bounces here, okay? So, look, this could potentially be it, right? This could for sure be it. This is a very important level for others. Total 3, same thing at these lows. So, yeah, I mean, your finger should either be on the trigger or you should be pulling the trigger already. Adam says bottom, I think. It looks like it. Yeah, like look at the charts don't lie, man. In hindsight, it's always 2020. It's always hard to do it in real time to buy the fear, but yeah, this is the time to pull the trigger. Again, I feel like it's somewhat greedy to say, oh yeah, we're gonna keep crashing this week and you're gonna see another 50% lower on alts. Like, it's unlikely. Sergey, what do you think will happen in the next days from your experience? Again, we're going to see a significant low put in. If that wasn't it today, it will happen this week. Probably go into a period of consolidation for maybe a bit of time, a few weeks, maybe even a month or two until that rate cut in March. And then we boom. and they'll call us lucky. Jim says big money buying, everyone else running. That's usually how it works. That is usually how it works. Guys, smash up the like button. World Wonder says we are about to hit all-time highs. Get ready. Jelly, my jelly coin will rise gradually into the dollars. Don't miss out. XRP forever. I do sense the sarcasm there, World Wonders. I can sense the sarcasm through your words. No, don't wait for what China or Mexico has to say. Look, just go read the book, The Art of the Deal. It doesn't matter what they say. It really doesn't matter what China or Mexico says. Go read The Art of the Deal and you understand who has the power in the situation right now. So let's just go over. Let's go over the total market cap chart. Yeah, we can look at these individual alts. Even I'd rather look at the total two, because the total two is excluding Bitcoin. Now look. Some hopium essentially is this massive bull flag happening on the total two. Same thing again, others, key level right now. Like these lows in the past, they've all resulted in significant wicks up, consolidation, and then a rally. What have I said? We're probably going to put in significant low. We're going to consolidate. And then we're going to rally. And eventually this bull flag will break out and it will go to new highs. So for everyone who is fearful, everyone who's freaking out, look at the total two, look at the others chart, and understand where things are at in the bigger picture. Because, I mean, this is this is what lows look like, okay? In hindsight, when prices bounce and are back up here, it's always obvious. If you want to see it in real time, like this is what it looks like here. Like this is what lows look like when they form. So, look, on that note, we've talked about a lot this stream. We've been live for an hour and 15 minutes. Finger on the trigger, or you should be pulling the trigger. Scared money don't make no money. If you want to quit, well, maybe you should quit. But those who can survive will reap the rewards. I don't like to speak in absolutes or guarantees, but I can say that with 99.999% confidence that we go higher this year. And this is probably, if this isn't the low, this chart, this is the low on the chart, actually, okay? Like, this is it. Both of these. On the weekly, this is cleaner. You get the triple drive. Yeah, these total market cap charts, I don't think they're lying to me. I don't think my eyes are deceiving me. I think it's pretty clear what I'm seeing. And I think it's also, it should be clear to you guys as well. These massive, daily time frame, weekly time frame bull flags. Yes, price has broken the lows, but it's actually right on trend line. It's right on the line. So pull the trigger, let it bang, man. Apu's on sale. I think I'm going to buy some Apu right now. Time to wrap this one up, though. Hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. Hope it gave you some kind of comfort or solace in this turmoil we're experiencing right now. It's easy to go stick your head in the sand, especially someone like myself, right, who shows up here, puts my face out there and talks about the market all the time. It's easy for me to go and pretend this isn't happening and not go live, but I like to show up when other people are scared, hiding with their head in the sand. So yeah, with that being said, guys, go look at the total 2 chart. Go look at the others dominant, or not the dominant chart, but the others chart in general with market cap. Let me know what you think, because I just showed you what I'm seeing. And look, they look like massive bull flags with the low essentially in right now. So whatever coins you're thinking about buying, if you haven't done it yet, well, you probably will have maybe a little bit more of a window of opportunity. But I would personally consider a heavy, significant low forming this week, and then a period of consolidation, and then a rally. And remember, Ethereum will go to new all-time highs. Don't believe me? That's cool. I'm not changing my stance until my thesis is either proven correct or it's proven wrong. That's just me, though. You can do whatever you like. Anyways, Burning Babylon, really, really inconvenient time for the question, man. Super inconvenient time. We are wrapping the stream up right now. I'll go over one of your coins, but I'm not going over 2 of them. Thank you for the super chat, though. So what's your take on DGen? Well, I'll be damned if it's not bottom now. I mean, this thing is going down back to 50 million. DGen in general goes right alongside the base thesis, right? Base is going to do really well when Ethereum goes to a new all-time high. So, I mean, like Bonk, like Pepe, like whatever, it's fully retraced. I mean, even more so than the election pump. It is extremely oversold, and more likely than not, you'll see this thing go into consolidation like it has in the past. And then when Ethereum eventually starts to run to 6K, you'll see this thing run again. And being that Turbo is an ETH meme, the same thing applies. Same thing applies. Anyways, lads, thanks for all being here today. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Remember, I have a lot riding on the market. I'm sure many of you guys have a lot riding on this market. But don't neglect other aspects of your life. Like, for example, if you sat home all day just looking at prices and looked at your portfolio, you didn't do anything, you're doing it completely wrong. You should still be training. You should still be going to the gym, taking care of yourself. Right? I smashed my Cobra Reflex bag for 20 minutes before this. I feel great. Right? I could care less about what's happening because my eyes are forward and I'm looking ahead. All right? So take care of everything else and keep your finger on the trigger here, because this is how lows are formed. This is how significant lows are formed that lead to parabolic rallies. You can't have the parabolic rallies without the deepest of the lows. And we're in one of those periods now. Anyways, guys, thanks for all being here. My name is Connor from Crypto Empire. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. If you're new here, subscribe, smash the like button. Thank you for all of your support. And we will be live again this upcoming week. We have a lot of videos planned. So a lot will be happening here at Crypto Empire. And we will continue to show up. Thanks for all being here. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your weekend. If it's already Monday, have a great week. Connor from Crypto Empire, signing.